本上战绩也是回到排名第一。那这边请教练谈一下这场比赛。
So we win the double headers, and then now we're sitting number one overall. So just briefly talk about.
Okay. Yeah, we don't really think about ladder positions. We don't think about that at all. We think about just playing who we've got to play. And this weekend was about an opportunity to get two at home. We just missed it last week. We really should have got two at home last week. And also, you know, going through the process of trying to get better. And we're improving. And I think even with, you look at some of our individual players, the opportunities they got this weekend showed improvement. You know, I talked about last night with Jasper, I talked about Bo, and even Owen tonight, it's Cooper. So he had a massive game tonight. So I've been pretty hard on him to try and work and understand what we do, how we play as a team, and it's taken some time. And I felt the last few minutes of the game, even though the game was over last night, is how he played the last few minutes determined me putting him in early tonight. So every minute counts, and then he took that. You know, he took that with both hands and the opportunity. And you look at it, obviously, that makes it very difficult to guard. You know, it's interesting. I said to the team, I rarely talk about Jason and Kupsis. I'm always talking about that's because they bring it every day. It can't be taken for granted. All right. So I'm looking for that consistency. You know, Kevin had a big game tonight. He was down on himself, but that's Kevin. You know, I don't have to really challenge Kevin. He challenges himself. So, you know, he brought it tonight. So, and that, you know, to me, it's very pleasing, like, to win back to back in the way we did. And it's one of the better games we played. We defended well again, and our rebounding was much better, and we took care of the basketball. So I can see the improvement, even though it was a 30-point win last night, 21 tonight, we actually improved today. We improved.
对，那回复 Connie 的部分，其实教练对于排名没有很在意，对他觉得我们每一场下一场要对谁，然后要怎么样去应付每一个对手才是最重要的。那这两场赢球他非常开心，因为我们有机会可以拿下主场的二连胜，上个礼拜差一点点可以拿下2连胜，那就这一次有做到，所以教练非常开心。那再来就是我们的个人。每一个球员的个人的状况也越来越渐入佳境了，像昨天有 Jasper、Bo 跟 Owen， 那今天的话 Cooper 做得非常非常好。教练其实对 Cooper 非常的严厉，对他在场上练习的时候对他非常严厉。那怎么样取决于 Cooper 今天上场的时间？其实是因为昨天最后7分钟的时候，虽然我们已经领先了，但是他一样打得很认真，而且有按照教练想要他做的事情去做。这样就取决于他今天上场，提早让他上去。所以在场上你做的每一个细节都是取决于教练要让你上场的状况。对，那其实教练也有说，刚刚在 locker room 里面有说，他为什么很少讲到 Jason 跟 Kupsis， 因为他们的延续性跟他们稳定性是很高的。但我们不能把这当作理所当然。所以如果每一个球员都可以按照他们这样子去打的话，那我们球队会是非常非常棒的一支球队。对，那接下来就是 Kevin。其实昨天状况还可以，但今天他自己调整完之后，今天就打得更好，所以教练也没有很担心龙猫的部分，那因为龙猫自己就会调整。那今天这场比赛其实打很好的防守，我们的篮板还有我们的失误也有降低下来。教练觉得这3个指标有做到，所以非常非常开心。那上一场虽然赢30分，但他觉得这一场我们可以两场都赢下来，而且这一场的内容打得也很好，所以教练非常开心。
就先请子轩先谈一下好了，因为在11分是加入海神以来最高的得分嘛，谈一下今天自己的表现。
就慢慢来吧，就是有机会就赶快上去帮助你的球队，然后也感谢就是上场的这些球员啊，希望能给我一些机会。空场当然就是尽量能出手嘛，然后再来就是防守，对吧？
好，谢谢子轩。那接下来的话呢？
我觉得今天这场比赛呢，其实就是从赛前然后大家有遵照教练的指示，然后有遵守就是球队的安排，所以拿下这场胜利。那当然 比赛中还有很多不足的地方，但是我们其实已经做得很好了，就像教练讲的，我们今天保护好了篮板，然后也减少了失误，所以才会大比分的获胜。所以我觉得当然打球打这么久了，我会觉得说，对自己上一场比赛怎么样的低潮，怎么样的投不进，跟这场比赛可以反转，其实也没有做得很好，可以再做得更好。那我觉得就是身为一个就是比较就是年长的球员，我觉得这是必经的过程，对于每个人来说都是这样。所以当然很开心，那个小老弟年轻的球员跳出来了，也展现出他的光芒。那我觉得这就是球队需要的东西，球队不会只有一个 leader， 不会只有一个领导者，我们也是每个人在每一场比赛每一天都会有不同的人出来领导这个球队，所以这是让我们导致最后的胜利，这是最重要的。
谢谢 Kevin。那我们请 Jason 谈一下好了，他连2天都有 double 的表现，怎么样维持这么稳定的表现？
How do you do it? Both team back to back double.
Hey, you're welcome. You work on your teammate making a shot.
Yeah, just great to get back-to-back wins. I think I was extra motivated, with my brother and my friends visiting. So I wanted to make sure, they were able to watch a great game, and I just wanted to be aggressive and try to make the right plays. And I thought we just played good basketball these 2 games, and I'm happy that we, got 2 wins. 那可能他的秘密就是因为他的家人有来，对他哥哥也来，然后他的朋友也来。那他就觉得这2场他想要打的特别有侵略性，然后他也觉得状况也不错，所以对他就维持这样的打法，然后有侵略性，然后打很好的一个篮球体系这样子。对。
好，那有媒体朋友有问题的吗？
那就如他刚刚所说的，就是他的家人都来帮他加油，所以他的表现也都很棒。那他有什么话想要对他的家人跟朋友讲？
Your friend is here. Anything you want to talk to your family and friends in front of the camera?
Well, yeah, I'll talk to them after the game. I'll see them. But I'm just happy that they came all the way out. My friend came from Texas. My brother, was in Japan, so he came with his wife. So I'm just happy that they came. I'm happy they got to see me play, and just thankful for their support. 那应该都是比完赛之后就会大聊特聊，但是他在这边的话，就是还是跟从 Texas 来、从德州来的朋友，还有从日本来的哥哥，还有他老婆，对，就跟他讲说，对，谢谢来看他的球这样子，对。
要问子轩，就是上礼拜的表现其实还没有到非常理想嘛，但是就是自己有说，就是还在一个学习的阶段。但这礼拜其实不管是昨天跟今天，其实表现都还不错。那你自己在心态上面，或者在练习上面有做什么样的调整，或者说有没有从就是学长身上就是学到什么东西，帮助你去更快融入比赛、职业赛事？
当然，在就是从练球的中，就是在学习嘛，就是看学长怎么做嘛，然后在比赛中，不管我教练让我打几分钟，就是做到教练要做的事情嘛，给我的任务啊，所以我就是昨天就是教练给我的任务就赶快去做，然后也可以让我就是今天也可以让我就是很快的上场，对吧？
还有问题吗？
Okay.
Coach, this one's for you. Was it a plan? You say you were playing guys a back-to-back and the other team weren't. Was it a plan to start with that high intensity in the first quarter especially? We saw you guys in defense, you were involved, all of you guys, the rotations were good. And also in offense, you passed the ball really well. So was it a plan to start with that intensity to get that advantage of 15 points at the end of the first quarter?
Yeah, as you know, that's a good pickup. The first couple of minutes though, we really didn't have the intensity that I liked. We were a little bit slow. I said this is the code, I don't like it right now, But then the guys picked it up, and then when we went to the bench, we didn't lose anything, He came in, Cooper, Jasper and Bo. It went forward, when we went to the bench. So that helped as well. We always want to try and get off to a good start if we can. I think it's important because I don't want to be calling and wasting a timeout in the first few minutes too. And if you have to waste a timeout, you've only got one left for the half. So we do try and make a conscious effort. We don't necessarily have to be beating a team by a lot, but just being around the mark so we can still control things. But yeah, that really stood out, and I think I just complimented all my guys, the fitness guys, and our recovery last night. It's an area we've had to improve, I think, and you know we're doing some things off the court which I think really helped our recovery. So we're ready to go in the second game as well.
That's interesting. How did you prepare that game? I mean, I'm from Switzerland, so I'm not able to see oftenly back-to-back games at the NBA maybe, but not in Europe. So how do you prepare that kind of game? Is it more about mentally, video stuff? What can you tell us about that?
Well, you really prepare for the games earlier in the week. So early in the week we would say focus on the Suns, and in the second practice we'd focus on the Leopards, so we're not going in cold. I know some coaches, they just say, oh, you got to get the first win and we'll worry about the second one. That's not me. It comes from my playing experience in Australia, part of it as well. And when you're at the Olympics, you know, sometimes you play back-to-back games, or the World Cup, and sometimes you have a day off. You know, you play 8 games in 14 days, and that's really tough, right? So how you prepare, so your training has got to be varied. But you know, I go back to my Australian days. This is like, think about this for a minute. As a player, we would take a 6-hour flight, the night before, and play a team called the Perth Wildcats. And then the next day, because of the time difference, we would leave at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, but that would be 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock here. It'd be a 4.5-hour flight. So then we get into the city we're going to play, it's 5:30. We play at 7 o'clock. Think about that for a minute. The amount of flying in 2 days. So how do you win? Like, I remember one year, those two teams never lost home games. It was bad. So these days now, you have a day between. You don't do that anymore. It was called the Doomsday Double. You're doomed, right? 6 hours travel, 4.5 travel, hour and a half. Sometimes we would buy something from a shop and then be going to the game and play. So all those experiences. So, you know, your nutrition's got to be right. You've got to get sleep. Even back then, but we did win a game. Sometimes we split it. So to me, as you say, this is in the NBA, right? So I think we don't travel on planes, which I think is really good for us too. But in saying that, when you've got guys like Kevin and Jason who play big minutes, then we have to have a plan to take care of them. And I think we've got a pretty good plan in place. And that's half the battle. So we could, and that's why it's hard to win back-to-back. And usually in other countries, back-to-back, you play away. You don't give the home, you don't have a disadvantage at home. Like you said, the Leopards have the advantage. This is unusual, right? But it is what it is, okay? It's how we deal with it. So that's why I'm very happy we got 2 wins. So good question.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
OK， 那我就
long translation.
Sorry,
one
second. An English guy asked me a question. Anyway, you got it. Good luck.
OK， 那
Good luck.
他问说，其实 back to back 的部分啊，那
Tell about the Doomsday Double.
Yeah. So 其实教练真的是有经验，因为之前如果打过奥运的话，也是要在14天里面打8场比赛嘛，所以对他来讲，其实也是多少有一些经验啦。那他之前也讲说，在澳洲以前赛制还没有改的时候，他们要早上6个小时的飞机，打完1场之后，早上10点再坐4个小时的飞机，然后晚上可能7点就要打球了，所以那个时候其实只要这样飞过去的客场几乎不会赢球，对，所以他们叫 Doomsday Double， 就是连续打2场的几乎都很难赢球啊，对，那其实对于我们准备的话，就是吃的球员一定要吃得好，然后一定要睡得好，然后尤其是教练很注重打完球马上要做的修复，所以尤其是像 Kevin， 然后像 Jason， 像 Coops， 他们都是很重要的球员。那其他球员也很重要，但是就是每一个人都要做好他们的职责，然后大家都要禀赋，都要做他们该做的，对。对。
你那个讲的就自己讲话，对，跟你讲吧。
没事啊。
OK 吗？
Yeah。
可以吗？
可以。
可以。
有问题的吗？
是打比较多的，不是比较重要，大家都重要，打比较多的。
对，教练。
就是
教练教练，就是其实下半场让子轩打了蛮多，就是除了杰森之外打了蛮多控球的角色。那这个是之后海神的计划吗？还是说只是因为怀安现在受伤，暂时让他顶替一下
Cooper played a lot of a point guard, replaced Jason's spot, and was that since you're playing and in the future of our season that you gotta make the Cooper to play the point guard?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about.
Just close.
It's all about how the game's unfolding, right? So with Jason playing last night, I was fortunate to give him 12 minutes rest last night, which is unusual because Tucker's out, right? And so tonight, well, what I've been doing is playing Allen at the point for a few minutes, and I said to him, you know, I will play Allen at the points, then transfer you into the point because he has the quickness, right? He has the ball handling skills. It's more about him learning, you know, Cooper learning our style of play, all right? So he has to learn it from the 2-3 spot. That's mainly what he's been learning it from. So with Tucker going down, we've been throwing him in the point position at practice. And so we're starting to, and you know, what I do is obviously give him some instructions, like clear instructions about what I want him to do, you know. So he did a great job. So you can't just say, yes, I'm going to do that. Of course I'm going to do that. After he plays like that, it gives me a chance to not only, I can play him in the 1 and move Jason to the 2 off the ball. I do that with Allen sometimes. So I get Allen to bring up the ball, so Jason's resting, bringing up the ball, and we have an attack on the other side of the floor. So now, you know, Cooper, like I said, he's been working hard. He hasn't been doing exactly what we wanted him to do the first few weeks, right? But he's been improving, and I can see he was ready. I said to Peter last week, I said, Cooper's going to probably blossom pretty soon. You know, you don't know when. All right, tonight the sunshine on Cooper tonight. The sunshine was on Cooper.
那其实教练也不能打包票啊，但是Jason 其实真的取决于大家的表现。然后因为 Jason 昨天他打的时候，其实有休息到12分钟，那他觉得这其实还蛮不正常的。但是因为有让他休息到，所以他有让阿雅上去打1号。对，那同时阿雅在打1号的时候，也有让 Cooper 在场上打2号的时候，同时在学习，然后慢慢的让他对，然后才换手让他打成1号。对，那其实他是从2、3号开始学这练习的时候，然后在场上之前2、3号开始学。那因为Tucker 他受伤的关系，所以教练就给他很直接的指令，然后告诉他说，在1号位的时候要怎么样去打。那在场上其实有让 Jason 休息的方式，就是他打2号位，对，然后让阿雅打1号，或让他打1号，然后去看一下我们这个阵容打的状况怎么样。那其实教练上个礼拜就跟我大概讲一下，说看到 Cooper 练习的状况的时候，就觉得说应该时候快要到了，对，他觉得他快有这个机会，然后就真的就今天就是这个机会来，他有好好掌握好。
See, all focus probably on Cooper's 31 points. The reason why he stayed on the floor too was he played great defense. You know, so he brought an energy. Sometimes he made a couple of mistakes, but when someone has high energy, you allow those, right? A couple. Like early at practice and early in the season, he was just running and shooting wild threes, no rebounders. Defense wasn't great. Was no good. Right? So we have to teach him. We have to teach him to play the way we want him to play. So it's taken a while. Now he knows. Tonight, he put the ball up and he was open. I thought he should have shot the 3 because Cooper's was under the basket. But he's thinking the game. That's what he's thinking the game now. A lot better. He's a lot smarter. He's not playing just crazy, shooting threes and turning the ball over. Right? It's not college basketball. There's a lot of that in college basketball. Run, shoot threes, throw the ball away. It's professional basketball. You have too many turnovers, you lose. Right? it matters in professional basketball. So he's had a lot of learnings in the last 2 months, a lot of learnings. And so I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him tonight. Now you keep it going. You keep it going.
对，那其实大家都会看子轩得31分，但是其实他今天是高能量，而且他防守也做得非常非常好。对，那其实教练也一直说啊，子轩要学习一个新的体系，尤其是来到职业场上，这打法就真的不太一样，不能像大学一样跑过去投3分，然后就没有人在抢篮板之后，然后就失误这样子。所以他说在大学很常会看到这种状况。那今天有看到有一球，他要可以投的机会，但是他看到 Coops 在底下，所以他知道我们要打什么，所以他就没有直接投，但是他有把这个就该跑的战术把它跑出来，所以教练也非常开心。对，所以教练就希望他维持。